Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Brexit Bando, and it's my second go around of trying to record this video. I'm going to try and say something nice. So, we have a new Blood Angels box set that's been shown off. This is a box set that's been much rumoured about. Valrak's been talking about this for ages, and it's, on the whole, not a horrendous set per se. And sorry, I'm going to be creaking around because I'm trying to get ice packs in the right place for my back. My apologies. Right, so in this box set we have, I think, 10 Assault Interceptors and 10 Jump Assault Intercessors, 2 new characters and a dreadnought, plus 4 upgrade sets and Codex data cards and transfers. First of all, I love the box art. I think the box art looks fantastic. It's very evocative, it's very striking. The black and white with the red in it is really cool. I love the Death Company. I think the Death Company are great. They're one of the earliest box sets I got as a kid when I got into the hobby. And Chaplain Lemartes has been one of my favourite characters for quite some time. I think we've firmly established I'm not a big fan of Primaris Marines, so I shall skip over that as much as possible. So, let's have a look at these models. So we have Lemartes here, and Lemartes is, he's one of those characters that is teetering on the edge. You know, he's beaten the Black Rage, he guides the Death Company, he basically is Rage incarnate. But he's also kind of the gentle kind of doctor, that he's the monk looking after the injured man who turned up at his door. He very much is supposed to be this guide who feels for his wards. He's not just some maniac who rampages at the enemy. He has, he understands what's going on with them. He pities them almost, and his pose here is not one of leadership, one of guidance, of inspiration. It's just the traditional kind of Wolverine-esque, weapons at my side, come at me, I'm growling at you, kind of pose. And I'll start here at the top with his helmet, which some people love, and, I'm a fan of a good skull helmet, I'm a big fan of. But this, if his mouth wasn't open, would have been better. I have seen this described as the Baal gag, which is hilarious. And I'm just not a fan of it being open. If it had been a closed skull, I think it would have looked better. The gem maybe didn't need to be there. The rest of the aesthetics and the armour, I'm not a fan of. Now, the Lemartes that I always will go to in my mind, the peak for me is still going to be that first one, because he was on the cover of the Angels of Death Codex, and he led the Death Company box set. He was just known as a Death Company chaplain back then. I don't think he actually had the name Lemartes until a bit later. But it's this. It's this fantastic piece of just striking second edition artwork. And he's got what looks like a Sanguinary Guard helmet, but it's in the skull face representing the Emperor. And he's leading from the front. He's got that inspirational pose, and his model, I think, is one of the most perfectly posed and balanced models out there. This was a lovely box set, by the way. It was a hybrid metal and plastic set, with the arms, shoulder pads and backpacks being plastic, and the bodies, legs, torsos and everything being metal. Came with loads of special weapons. It was great. Lovely set, really brilliant. Wish I'd had the painting skills at the time to be able to enjoy it. Probably would love to get my hands on it again at some point. But this is Lemartes to me, and I understand the times change. I also remember at school how people used to freak out because he's got a red dot laser sight on his gun. This was the 90s, before lasers were like a thing everywhere in the shooting community. He was great. And I actually took inspiration for my own Blood Angels with this, with the pattern on his legs. And I'll throw a picture in here of my own Blood Angels, my Praetor, to show you what I mean. So Lemartes, I feel, is a bit of a miss. I know a lot of people really, really like him, and that's absolutely fine. You know, that is your prerogative. I don't like this new style Primaris jump pack. I just don't like the aesthetics of it. It's too small, it's too smooth, it's too sci-fi high-tech. I also don't like... I like these crosses on the legs, I really don't like. For a start, this inner thigh, or inner calf part, if you've ever run wearing shin pads, like cricket pads, you know this is just going to be clipping against each other. So it's going to be a real pain to run wearing these. I get that it's the stylized Death Company cross, but they're not painted red. He also doesn't have it anywhere else on his body. I'm seeing lots of people talking about how they're just going to convert him to be a Black Templar because he fits the Templar aesthetic more. And I kind of agree. Now, bits I do like. I really like his Crozius. It's nice to see a Primaris chaplain with a Crozius that actually fits the shape and aesthetic. I don't mind this shoulder pad. It's fairly similar to the one on the Black Templar Castellan, the one that no one could tell if it was a Primaris Marine or a Firstborn Marine. Sorry. Lots of moving around today, guys. Sorry, lots of creaky chair. It's not as good as the Castellan's shoulder pad, in my opinion, but it's not bad. You can kind of make out some pretty egregious print lines in some of this point as well. And I hate the heavy bolt pistol. Don't like the design. Also, he looks really squat. We'll talk about Primaris Marines and how they're... The whole thing about them is that they're better scaled and... You know, oh, it's just, you know, we wanted true scale Space Marines. Well, he's got little squat legs again. And it may just be the pose of him leaning forward. But this looks like Warwick Davis in power armor, in my opinion. This is Willow, the chaplain, not Lemartes. So that being said, that's him. Let's go on to Astorath. Now, Astorath is a character who I've never been a big fan of. I've never been a big fan of characters who take the gimmick of their chapter and turn it up to 11. And this sort of vampire's vampire in his flayed armor is just... He's a bit too much. Also, isn't he technically a chaplain as well? So we get 2 chaplains? Yeah, he's High Chaplain of the Bloody. So we get 2 chaplains in the box, so that's great. Now, his armor looks fantastic. It's very, you know, very reminiscent of the flayed hubris worn by Gary Oldman in the Dracula movie, which is obviously what they're going for. It's supposed to look like a flayed man. The skull shoulder pad is really good. They fixed the orientation of the muscle fibers on his abs because they went up and down before when they should go side to side. His wings are a lot more stylized and look a lot more manufactured. They don't actually look like wings anymore. A lot of the artwork depicts them as proper feathered wings. The pose on the arms is a bit weird. If you were to put your own arms in that position holding an axe, you'd find it very uncomfortable and not a pose you can produce a lot of power out of. The mask is... I mean, it's all too much hidden by his hair and his arms and everything. Honestly, if I wanted to do an Astorath model, I'd actually pose him more like this. I'd pose him more like this. This is the monster of the Blood Angels. This is the... You've walked in the room and he's turned around with a glint in his eye, blood dripping from his mouth. There's bodies everywhere. He's not human. Astorath is the unreasonable, the force of nature of the Blood Angels that is death incarnate. And this pose is just... I get it's the same pose we had before. And they like to ape on those same poses for the nostalgia, but I think this was a perfect opportunity to give us a scarier, more predatory pose. Again, we have another design for a Primaris backpack. This will probably be the jump pack that goes with the new Sanguinary Guard that are supposed to be coming out. Yeah, just not really my cup of tea. Okay, so we get 20 Intercessors, 10 with jump packs, 10 without. I don't know what I can say about it. I mean, I like some of these poses, but yeah, the Primaris Marines, I don't know really what I can say here. The upgrades, I like some of the heads. They're not as good as the heads on the Black Templars upgrade sprue. I think the Black Templar heads are sculpted better. You know, these bald faces, they look terrible. And maybe it's the painting, I don't know, but they're just not great. I really like that we're getting a double-handed chainsword. Pity that it has to go into a pair of Primaris arms, and you'll see later how awfully this model is cut, which is sad. There is also a regular chainsword. I don't know if they've actually included it on any of the models. Lots of little gumpy bits and pieces for them, and, you know, helmeted heads. It's just not as good a set as the Black Templars one. And this is something I've noticed since GW started doing these sorts of upgrade kits, which is they'll release one, and then the next one will be a different style, and they'll change. They'll never have any consistency. If we had the same style, the same part count, the same bits style across them, it would be better. You know, the Black Templar one's got back banners, it's got loads of heads, it's got loads of shoulder pads, more shoulder pads than this, I think. It's got, you know, relics, it's got helmets, it's got weapons. It doesn't have any Terminator parts, but that's because the Terminator kit wasn't out at the time. And it has, like, you know, a load of shotgun arms for the initiates. Great, I just pulled a spider off of me. Yuck. Yeah, I just think this is a bit weak. I think these Terminators, all these arms, I'm so sick and tired of this straightforward, down at my side arm pose. If you look at the Space Marine, like, Mark 6 Heresy box, on the sprue there is an arm coming out to the side that's supposed to be used for, like, the pistols, I think, for the sergeant. But it's pointing out to the side. Give me arms like that. Give me poses where I can make guys who look like they're swinging their swords, that they're deflecting blows, that they're blocking things, that they're pointing it a different direction, or they're pointing their weapon in a different direction. This flat, forward-facing arm is just so boring. Like, this arm here is much more interesting than all of this combined. Give us more arms like this, but with swords, and I'd be a lot happier. The shoulder pads aren't bad. The Optics helmet's not bad. That head's not bad. Love the Terminator head. Love the unarmoured Terminator head. These ones, not so great. All the little gubbins bits, they're absolutely fine. Could you use this for Heresy upgrades? Yeah, probably. And you get 4 of those, apparently. Last but not least, and probably the most worrying part of this box set, is the Brutalis dreadnought. As I said in the very long voice chat we had on Discord the other day, I don't see why all of these Redemptor style dreadnoughts are not one kit by now. This should all be one kit. Just put all the weapons options in there. Stop being, you know, stop dumbing things down. Oh my god, I can only buy this kit, this data slate. It's the same kit. Just buy the kit and build the model. Follow the instructions. It's not difficult. And I'm worried about this because it's painted in the Death Company colours. Now, if this is just an aesthetic thing, that's fine. But it says here they provide rules for fielding Death Company dreadnoughts. And I like the Castaferum Death Company dreadnought. And I'm worried that it's going to disappear. And it's a great kit because it's 3 dreadnoughts. It's the Furioso dreadnought, it's the Death Company dreadnought, and it's also the Librarian dreadnought. And I get that the Marine codexes are bloated, and I just think that losing these sorts of models sucks. You know, I just think that the quality is dropping, and yeah, it's a bigger, more technically impressive kit, but I don't think it has the soul and the aesthetic and the style and the passion behind it that the models I grew up with did. I can't fault anything on this model. The painting is phenomenal. The blending on this, on the cross, is really good. The weathering, the edge highlighting, the glow effects on the claws, everything is great. But it just feels like a big plastic Tonka toy compared to those dreadnoughts. The codex art is quite good for the limited edition codex. The codex art for the regular one is boring. This style that they are going for since like 8th edition is awful. It sucks. I have not seen a good codex cover since 8th edition started. I don't know why. They none of them click with me. The art just does not evoke any sort of wonder or desire to pick up the book, to pick up the army. I just look at it and go, eh. This doesn't give me the sense of like wow that this does. The intricate details, the my god, what's going on here? Oh, what does this do? Why is that there? You know, what's that thing in the background? Why is there flames painted on that rocket launcher? This is just meh compared to it. I can't stop clicking. So yeah, as I said to the guys in Discord, I stopped making this video the first time because I felt it was low effort and I didn't really have anything nice to say, and I still really don't particularly have anything nice to say about this. The only thing I can say that's going to be nice about this is you might get a fairly good discount on it if you can get your hands on it, but more than likely it's going to get snapped up by scalpers and you won't see it. It's a Marine bundle box set. It's going to be gone the moment it goes on sale. Your third-party retailers are going to get like 3 of them. But hey, GW's or earnings call went out and they've made record profits again, and they've got a 60% increase in their cash buffer. You know. Oh no, their costs have gone up, guys. But record profits. So good luck getting your hands on this. They don't care. My name is Bando. As you can tell, I'm really not fussed about Primaris Marines. thank you for watching. If you want to support the channel, and I don't know why you'd want to support this channel, honestly, it's so negative and crap, and the upload schedule is terrible, and the audio quality is crap, and the host is just the worst. But if you do, like, comment, subscribe, feel free to give a super chat like Curtis does. And if you shop in the UK, you can go to Element Games and use my code JAM737 to double the reward points you get when you make a purchase. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.